Wellity, wellity, wellity. Hello, everyone. And welcome in, and good time zone. And what is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I hope that you are having the loveliest of lovely Mondays. I'm certainly having a day. It's very nice to be here. Hello, hello. Hello, Tomcat. Welcome in. I am very glad to hear that you received your post. That's great news. Yay. I hope that you love it. I hope that it brings you lots of joy, and thank you so much again for, supporting my art and stuff. I really appreciate it. Turn up, thank you so much for the lurk as well. I hope you have a lovely, lovely lurk. Where's my art camera? There's my art camera. Hi. Hi, I will love it like my own, says Tomcat. Thank you kindly. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I hope you're having a good Monday as well. Hello. And welcome to, I hope I remembered which prompt I'm supposed to be painting today for Hollow Knight Art Month. Because I realized belatedly that I could be misremembering, but hopefully it's this one. I'm going to bring up the Hollow Knight Art Month prompt list, like, straight off the bat, because I genuinely forget if this is the one I'm saying. Yeah, this is today's. Oh, thank goodness, I did it correctly. Oh, phew. That's a relief. Anyways, how is everyone doing? I hope you're having good Mondays. I'm so sorry I wasn't here on Friday. I was very unwell and needed to be unconscious for many hours in the morning and early afternoon of Friday. It was rough. But can confirm, I recovered over the weekend. I'm feeling much better today, feeling very bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, chipper, normal at least. Tomcat says, oh no, I hope you're feeling better in comparison now, maybe even feeling good. I'm feeling about as close as I get to good, with, my failing middle-aged body. But my spirits are good, and I'm up for painting, so yeah, it's fine, I'm good. Thank you for the well wishes, I appreciate it. In case anyone doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about with regards to Hollow Knight Art Month, let me just pop a link to the Hollow Knight Art Month prompt list page is in the chat, and I will bring that up so you can have a little look-see as well. Oh, hold up. Okay, this is my Instagram page because the scene is set to redirect to my Instagram page, so we may as well look at this. Is what I did yesterday, which was Quirrell and the little guy having a picnic because the prompt was Quirrell, and I just wanted to give him a nice time because Quirrell is a sweet guy. I like Quirrell, he's a good friend, and I like his little tummy. I think it's cute. He's got a cute little tum-tum. So I like him. Anyways. And the day before that was, I'm just shouting myself out for this because, I could not let the entire month go by and not draw in some bookshelves, especially for Monomon the teacher. She's gonna have, like, a comprehensive study of, scientific books of various vintages and varieties, I am sure. So here she is just chilling in her study reading a book. And I did give her little reading glasses because I thought it'd be cute. I don't know. I wanted to do something fun with Monomon's design for the Dreamer prompt because I think Monomon looks really cute and cool and just fun, and I hadn't drawn her before. But today is day 19, and our word is false knight, and so that is what we're painting today. And he looks a little something like, I just wanted to see what he looked like if he took off the helmet and he's just like, hi there. Hi. I'm just a big little guy. And it makes me feel happy. This should have been in the game. Team Cherry, hire me challenge. No, don't. I don't want to work in the games industry. I do not have it in me to do that. I just noticed an errant pencil line here that's not supposed to be there anymore because this, I do try and keep my sketches fairly neat and tidy, but sometimes I forget to neaten them up before it's time to stream them. So apologies for that. Anywho, yes, Black Tomcat in the chat says, yes, the peasantry and the mud and the oppressive aristocracy, a Middle Ages body is not the fun it is often painted to be. Indeed. Also, had I been living in Europe at the time, in the Middle Ages, There's certain like food ingredients that I really love that we didn't have back then, and I would have felt sad living a life where I'd never had a tomato. I mean, I wouldn't know that I'd never had a tomato because I wouldn't have known that tomatoes existed at that point, because tomatoes were, if I'm very much mistaken, a new world food. But I feel like I would have felt that sort of absent presence, like this feeling like there's something that's supposed to be a part of my life that feels like it's missing, but I don't know what it is because I've never met it before. Like just this feeling of something's a bit wrong here, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. You know, like when you accidentally get catapulted into an alternate timeline, and you know, like Tasha Yar isn't dead. I've been thinking too much about Star Trek over the last few days, so I apologize. It's not my personality, but over the last 30 some odd years of my life, I have seen quite a lot of it a lot of times. And YouTube kept recommending me video essays about Star Trek, and I am not immune. Ergo, it's on my mind at the moment, so apologies for that. Maybe at some point I'll get it out of my system by doing some sincere Star Trek fan art. I have ideas. I really hate to say it, but I do have ideas. It might just be a cute little painting of Geordi wearing like a cool kid's cardigan or something. Because he's my favorite character. Anyways, enough about that. I have 2 cups of tea today. This is mint. The other one that I have is Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Contains no bed knobs and no broomsticks. 0 out of 10 false advertising. I will be complaining to the managers. With that said, it is delicious. It is like an herbal blend, but with like fruits and stuff. So it's got like chamomile and Sledge in the chat says knobs, hi sweetheart. It has like chamomile and apple and strawberry and rose petals and lavender. So it's very floral, very fruity, very cozy. I am a fan. Anyways, I would hope the tea is mint. I wouldn't want used tea in my cup. Quite right, too. Tomcat says, it would be the most ironic of punishments, living the life of the Monty Python peasants while the references haven't been invented yet. Oh no, that would be torture. That would be absolute torture. Oh man, that movie is so good. And also so much, I don't know if it's better or weirder or better when you know, like, some of the making of details of that movie. Like, it was gonna be, like, it was gonna be more, there was more to it in scope than what originally got made. It was gonna be, like, a mix of, like, the King Arthur story and also, like, sketches about some guy set in the modern day. My sunshine is looking at me. What? Oh, the King Arthur Flour Company. My husband just asked me, why would anyone watch a movie about flour? He's referring to the King Arthur Flour Company. To which I say, sweetheart, how many baking videos do we watch on YouTube that are made by the King Arthur Flour Company? They do really good baking recipes. I can't have wheat anymore, but you know, like, it is pretty impressive what you can do with just like gluten-free all-purpose flour and a little bit of xanthan gum, so like, I still watch them. But yeah, there's so much weird stuff in Monty Python movies that the brain just wants to forget about, says Tomcat. Like the murder investigation in the Holy Grail, the alien scene in The Life of Brian. Yeah. I was when I was like in my teens, I think I went through like maybe even pre-teens to teens. I had a very big like Monty Python moment / fixation. Like I watched so much of it, and I think, I don't know, it just spoke to me, I think, because so much of it was so weird. But I realized as an adult who didn't live in the UK at that point, like I'm from Canada originally, but now lives in the UK. I'm like, man, there was a lot that was kind of lost on me as like references and archetypes of the time and place that this show was from, just because I didn't have those frame of references like as a foreigner, that looking back on it now I'm like, oh, that's what that was, kind of thing. Can I think of any off the top of my head? No, obviously I can't, but like, real talk. Dan says, hi there, streamer, what is Hollow Knight? Listen, it's this really obscure little indie game. You probably haven't heard of it. But I thought I'd do some fan art because nobody's really done fan art of this game before. So I thought it'd be nice to sort of do that for them. Anyways, it's a food, Dan, says Casa. Oh, sorry, Casa says, it's a good Dan. Or food. But Dan is good. Dan is great. Hopefully there's a sequel sometime, says Dan. I would love to see if they made a sequel. I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if there are any plans in the works to produce any more content in sort of the Hollow Knight universe, but like if they did, I feel like there'd be a hunger for it. I feel like there'd be an audience for it somehow. Like people might like that. So, you know, that's something that they can consider anyways. It's an average Dan, but I'll take the upgrade / compliment. Dan, no, you are a good Dan. And I hope you're having a good Monday. And I hope you're having a good Monday as well, Casa. How's everybody doing? How were your weekends? I hope they were good. Sorry, I just realized that I was agitating the masking fluid quite close to the microphone, and I don't know if people like the squishy noises that it makes when I shake up the masking fluid, so I try and remember to do it away from the mic. So, apologies for that. Oh my god, this thing, it's so, the stuff gets so sticky and, like, dried up inside the lid. No matter how hard I try to be neat and tidy, that it just gets increasingly difficult every time to actually open the dang thing. So, god, like, ugh. How? Why? Why does it do this every time? I went to see Mary Poppins at the theater with my sister and niece. Oh my goodness, I hope it was still very good, and I hope you had a really good time. Oh, I like Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is fun. Mary Poppins is fun and whimsical and, technically they did some very cool stuff with the Poppins. Anywho, even, what's-his-face's accent, I'll allow it. Anyways, goodbye, Mary Poppins. Don't stay away too long. Anywho, as you can probably tell, we've busted out the masking fluid because I wanna mask off some of this stuff, because this is another one where I'm just, instead of doing like a whole scene, it's not only labor saving, it also lets me do something a little bit different with some of these pieces, to just do like a slightly larger, slightly more detailed character portrait, and then just set that against like a gradient in the background. I think that's... Oh, shh! No! Oh, no! Okay! Well, he's definitely masked off. I'm gonna need some more tissues. This is disgusting. This is extremely nasty. But the good news with this stuff is once it's dry, it just peels right off. Which is why I'm not scared or upset. Hey, Cranky, welcome in. Yeah, actually, if you can grab it, that'd be super great, babe. Thank you. My moderator / spouse is on the case. He's just gonna grab me a roll of tissue from the loo. Anyways, hey Rex. just make this the entry for mask day. Don't call it that, sweetheart. That's disgusting. Anyways, I mean, the stuff is disgusting. It's all over my hands now. Oh god. Latex smells. Yum. Did I do this, says Cranky? No. I did this. It was inevitable that this would happen to me and my artwork someday. But as you can hopefully tell by my demeanor, this is honestly not the catastrophe it looks like. Sorry, babe? I am gonna clean up the cutting board, baby. Don't you worry. Anyways, that's a pretty thin layer, so I'm just going to let that dry. And again, this stuff really does come off quite easily once it's dried. It just sort of balls up and disappears, which is great. So, my hands are gross, and I might want to disappear for a minute to wash my hands now, because ew. But apart from that, we're gonna be okay. Chat, I know it looks dire and disgusting and awful, but we are going to be okay. I promise you this. It's just gonna take a little longer than I expected to do the things. But that's fine. Anyways. I can't believe it. The end of the world is nice. Stan, no, it's fine. I swear to you, this is fine. It may not look fine, but I promise it's fine. I'm gonna see if I can... Is this still... If I can just pick up a layer of this off of here. Oh, it is nasty. It is gross stuff. It is rather disgusting. But it is not insurmountable. I think at this point I've cleared up enough of it that it'll just kind of dry on its own. And while that, I'm gonna leave that to dry for like a few minutes, and I might work on tomorrow's piece whilst it does, and then we'll look at actually just peeling off all of that gubbin and gubbins and doing the rest. Anyways, jeez. I might just give this a little wipe down with a damp tissue. Just because I can feel there are some little bits. They're not stuck to it. They're just kind of hanging out. And they're not very pleasant to the touch. So I can just... This will be the cleanest this board has been in quite a while in actual fact. Which is, you know, that's no bad thing, right? It's no bad thing at all. Okay. Alright. Gross! Anyways, I didn't expect stream to be quite as masculine. No, we tend not to lean super mask here. I prefer to be somewhere in between these. Anyways, okay. Speaking of mask, but I'm also not stuck here for just hanging out. I'm also not that pleasant to touch. So this is tomorrow's artwork, by the way. I wanted to do the mask maker because I'd never painted the mask maker. I tried painting a different angle for this piece of like, here's what the mask maker would look like from the side of their desk. And may I just say, friendo, posture check. Good Lord. The mask maker's a stopcat. Oh, the irony. I know. I'm just like feeling around the work surface now. I'm like, is this clean? Yeah, it is actually. It's fine. But I'm I'm paranoid about it now. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands because my hands are a little bit gross. Thank you for the posture check, Tomcat. I will do a stretch when I come back. Oh no. Everything's fine. The front door was open, but everything's fine. Oh no. What? Okay, sweetheart, everything's fine. Okay, I love you. Okay, I'm gonna put this tissue back where it came from. And we're back. Hi everyone. Hello. This is fine. Everything's totally normal. There's nothing to worry about. This is fine. Anyways. Rex, thank you very much for the 3 stream steak masked steaks, says Rex. Deliciousness. I hope you enjoy them with some accoutrements of your choosing, and I hope that whatever those may be are delicious. I've just had a delicious sip of my tea. And I would also like to once again thank Tomcat for the posture check. How did you... My lower back is killing me today. Like, there is just like a pain in my lower back. It's not spasming, but if it sticks around like into bedtime, I will be taking one of the Robaxacets that I've been rationing since the last time I came back from Canada to alleviate that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my spine. Ah, oh, ow. What the heck did I do to my back? I'm going to be 41 on Sunday. Don't talk about your ages. But every like ache and pain that I have when I'm near a birthday just feels like this can't be a coincidence. I'm about to hit a new numerical age, or I have just ticked over a new numerical age. This feels pointed, you know what I mean? Never talk about your ages. It never gets better, says Dan. The thing is, last year I entered a new numerical decade when I turned 40, and I went into it with a real sense of like renewed inspiration and sort of hopes and dreams, and like, hey, you know what? Maybe this is the decade where I really come into my own. This is, like my 30s have been kind of slogging through day jobs and, becoming increasingly disaffected by that and feeling, at times a little hopeless about it. But like, I'm entering into a new numerical decade. I'm in my 40s. There's a certain amount of thingness that goes along with that. And I was feeling really good and really positive about it. And I don't feel ungood and unpositive about it by any means. But I also kind of feel like, well, I didn't really do much with the first year of my 40s, except kind of I haven't left the brainstorming stage of the new chapter of my life. And I kind of got disillusioned by the potential reality of some of my hopes and dreams before actually being able to act on them at all. So happy belated 20th birthday, says Tomcat. Thank you. I look forward to what I'm trying to think of what was cool when I was I look forward to future Belle and Sebastian albums and possibly starting a university degree, ? Which I did later that year. Anyways. My sister turned 40 last year, made a bucket list of the things she wants to do in the next 10 years, said Stan. That is awesome, and I wish her the very best in getting those things did. I wish I could be that organized. But like I said, I had some hopes and dreams and ambitions at the beginning of my 40s that I'm already feeling like, I'm not sure I want to do these anymore. And even if I'm sure I want to do them, I'm not sure I can. Because, I mean, one of those things was to write something for TV. And having had some solid ideas of things I'd love to do in that vein, having written some things that I'd love to do in that vein, I've also kind of arrived at a conclusion where it's like, this seems like a really scary and precarious landscape we have at the moment for people making TV. It seems like it's very difficult to break in as someone who doesn't have sort of requisite credits or experience. And there are certain avenues that it seems like they're just doing less of and less with that for a long time were sort of points of entry for a lot of writers. Like certain things to do with like doing things for radio, doing like comedy stuff. They're doing less comedy stuff and they're doing less stuff for radio. So that's frustrating. There are certain things that they've just like stopped making and haven't really replaced that have oft been, places where writers kind of got their starts, etc., etc. So I'm feeling a little bit like, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I've kind of been like, well, I am mercurial enough that I have other interests. There are other things that I could be doing. I would like to lean more into working on like research-based things for my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, by the way. There's a link to it if you would like to subscribe. I'm on that 200 creep, and I would just be absolutely heckin' over the moon if I hit 200 subscribers by my birthday, which is on Sunday. I'm single digits numbers of subscribers away from that, but it still feels like a very remote possibility that it will happen. So, if you want to tell your friends, if they're into like weird history stuff, that would be super rad. Anyways, hello, Sammy Ann. Welcome in. It's lovely to see you. Hello, hello. Valid, says Sammy Ann, but remember Robert Munch of the Paper Bag Princess fame. Didn't start his career until 40, and he kind of forced his way into the market, and I love him so much. I really do. An absolute, if you're not familiar with children's author Robert Munch of the Paper Bag Princess fame, an absolute cornerstone of like my childhood literary experience. So good, so animated, such a wonderful writer. And also, as an illustrator, when I was back in Canada, I had the absolute pleasure of getting to do an illustration of the titular Paper Bag Princess for my local library that was used for quite a lot of their like fundraising and that kind of thing. And that was so many years ago, but I'm still very, very proud of it. Anyways, but yeah, very good point, Sammy. A very good point. I'm not counting myself out of doing anything just because I'm over 40. Don't get me wrong. Because I genuinely want to be doing more new, different stuff. But yeah, this is a weird landscape that we live in right now, and it's hard for everybody trying to do creative stuff, and I feel like I'd be kidding myself if somehow I'm exceptional in and among all that. So, and also, I don't have generational wealth, which really helps. I remember, growing up hearing stories about, like, artists and musicians and stuff who, could, like, had an apartment in New York and were able to make a living off of, like, putting out sort of indie albums and playing gigs and, doing odd jobs and that kind of thing. You can't do that in New York now. It's too expensive to do that. But if you're not within sort of, like the center of cultural hubbub, it's a lot harder to get noticed in that way. It's a lot harder to find community that's local to you. Obviously, there's the internet, but the internet is so oversaturated. That's a whole other kettle of fish. So, yeah. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, y'all, if you haven't checked it out, you should. The content is a lot of fun. Thank you, Sammy Ann. Thank you. I'm currently working on the script for something that, is again turning out to be a little bit more research intensive than I would have guessed, is another very niche subject, and will not take as long as the soap video, and doesn't involve me having to make anything, which I love, but I think it's going to be a good time. Spoilers, I will give you a one-word spoiler for the video that I'm working on right now, and that spoiler word is milk. Okay, moving on. Dan says, sorry, I was only half listening. So you said, so did you say you wanted to do break-ins to get TVs? Their career of crime is about to begin, Sammy Ann confirms. Yep. The Moriarty of the TV heist is just about to enter. I'm twirling my mustache. No, I'm not. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Please know that I am a law-abiding citizen. Anyways. Or resident, anyways. I'm not actually a British citizen. I'm a resident, which always makes me a little bit scared because I feel like it's easier for them to deport me. Please don't deport me. I am a law-abiding resident. Anyways, don't let me get started on that because we'll be here all day. Anyways. Sammy says, I came in on the patent of the teabag and never left. Yay! Sarah Starchild, welcome in. How are you doing, Sarah? It's lovely to see you, and welcome to Hollow Knight. Apologies profusely for what the hell happened to this guy. We're gonna fix it now. Because I think, is this dry enough for me to just pick up? I worry that because there was so much masking fluid that the paper was slightly dampened, but I'm gonna try and see if I can get this off cleanly. Oh, good. It bled onto the back of it, so let's do that part first. Anyways. Hi, Joe. You missed a catastrophe. Was it furry? Asks Joe. No. Also, hello, Joe. Welcome in. Hello. I'm here but so tired. I dislike Mondays intensely. I understand. I think the primary reason that I like Mondays is that I stream art on Mondays, and that is something that brings me joy. Part of the reason I scheduled art streams for Mondays is to give myself something that brings me joy on Mondays. So there you go. Anyways, this paper feels a little bit humid. I'm genuinely concerned. Is that the peeling off rubber stuff masking fluid? Asks Joe. Yep, sure is. I often found that it brought off my paper if I left it on too long. I find that if I lay it on too thickly, it moistens the paper too much, and then that's when it will sometimes tear the paper for me. I think it also makes a difference what type of paper I'm using as well. But for now, we seem to be getting it off okay. So yay! Anyways. Sammy says, Miss R is here for your Hollow Knight series. Please tell Miss R I said thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. The heat is killing me, says Joe. Oh no. I wish I could email you a nice iced beverage in that case. I'm sorry that you are warm. I don't actually, I'm warm, but that's just because I have 2 hot cups of tea in my room, with me. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, this was watercolor paper. Yes, this is, yeah. That makes sense. Anyways. She wants to know if you're selling the original, so now I have to go to your shop and check it out. Oh shoot. Hold up. Sorry, Sammy Ann. I forgot something. I forgot to switch on my chatbot at the top of stream. Sorry about that little Windows ping. I'm just gonna have to manually enter my shop URL. I don't have any originals for sale, but I do sell limited edition Blue Raspberry Fight Milk Hollow Knight art prints of a bunch of my pieces. I don't sell originals as just a general matter of generalness most of the time, with the exception of commissions and Lil Guys, which is a it's technically subscription based because it started out as a Patreon tier, and then I had requests to add it to Ko-fi as well for people who aren't on Patreon. But I thoroughly don't actually expect anyone to stick around for more than a month's worth of, like, Little Guy subscription, which is literally just, I send you an A7 sized original painting of something I think that you'll think is neat. They're very fun. And they're very fun for me to do. Okay, the paper is more or less unscathed. There's just a tiny amount of tearing right next to his hand. And other than that, the paper is pretty much clean. I don't know if there's any, like, residual latex kind of on the paper that might affect how the paint sits, but I guess, like, we'll get to that when we get there. It's all fine. Joe says, oh, I have my little book dragon on my shelf. It's my favorite Sammy art. Thank you so much. I loved doing the little book dragon, my little paper drake. As soon as I found out that paper drakes were a thing that existed, I was like, I gotta paint one. They're so stinking cute. So yeah, I'm glad you like it. Residual Latex is the name of my 3rd album, says Dan. That sounds like an album that I would enjoy. It genuinely does. Yes. Anywho, thank you for saying nice things about my art, y'all. Dan says, I have these 2 little recipe books that give me a warm feeling when I look at them. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. I have weird mixed feelings about my recipe books because obviously I have, like, wheat thing now, but can confirm the brownie recipe in one of my books. If you just swap out regular flour for gluten-free all-purpose flour, and then add in, I believe it's half a teaspoon of xanthan gum for every approximate half cup / 100 to 120 grams of flour. It makes a damn good brownie. And you don't need to make any other changes. It's great. Anyways, I have an origami dragon print on my inspiration wall, says Sammy Ann. Sammy Ann, of course, is the master of dragons. Sammy Ann does amazing dragons if you haven't seen her artwork. It's so good. If you like whimsy, y'all, you gotta check that stuff out. Anywho. But yeah, I ended up having a slightly less productive. I wanted to get more sketches done for like further Hollow Knight Art Month artworks, because I haven't done all of my sketching yet. I was hoping to get it done over the weekend, but I got really stuck on Wednesday's prompt because it's the sketch portion of it is quite detailed in what I'm doing, because the word is tram, and I wanted to do like a reasonably detailed tram. I wasn't gonna spoil it, but here's like the rough sketch. And I just... Special spoilers for anyone who's here. I don't know if anyone will understand the reference, but this is not the Hollow Knight tram. This is the TTC. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Tram. The word is tram. Anyways. I know not the Hollow Knight word, says Joe. It's just a tram, like the things we have in real life. I think there aren't really trams in London unless you get down to like some southerny suburbs like Croydon. I don't like Croydon, so I will never go visit the trams in London. Because I have bad associations with Croydon, and I do not wish to go there. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. No offense to anyone who lives in Croydon. It's not your fault. You can't help that. Anyways. We have tubes, says Joe. I recognize the TTC, says Sammy Ann. Yeah! We have tubes, says Joe. You do have tubes. There is a tram network down in Croydon, though. I used to live in Manchester, which had a tram network. I loved the tram. I love the little toot that the horn makes when it's going. It's very cute. There's a trams in Nottingham. Yep. There was a tram in Nantes. Nice. I have not been to Nantes, but if I do, I will check out the tram. Because I love a tram. I really liked the tram in Brussels. I liked the tram in Brussels better than the metro, actually. Partly because I don't know if we just got unlucky with stations, but every lift that we used in like a metro station in Brussels had a faint smell of wee-wee. And weirdly enough, my moderator / post. What did you say, love? No. It was not a faint smell of wee. It was very unpleasant. He's right. Anyways, but the trams were fun. We went past some neat looking things on the tram, so that was nice. Trolley. Trolleys are similar to trams. What actually is the difference between trams and trolleys? Is Jago Hazard here? Because he'd know. But yes. Or is it just a different word for the same thing, like, regionally? Because I don't really hear, like, North Americans talk about trams very much. So I think it might be similar, but a different word. Anyways. If it's a train type thing that goes on a track round, that goes along, like, city streets, and it's not a train, it's probably a tram of some sort. I'm sure there are very specific specifications that don't ask me, because I don't have the right flavor of tism to know all of the technical gubbins. I just knows them when I sees them, and I know which ones I like. Anyways. I wonder, I mean, here in Canada we use a lot of British and American terms interchangeably. It's true, it's very confusing. Dan says a tram is a train that isn't a train. Yes, exactly. Exactly, yes, Dan. You get it. It's a train that isn't quite a train, yeah. Okay, this masking fluid needs to dry, but I want to get on with getting stuff done. So, while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna get a nice wash of background color onto the mask maker here. I'm very excited about doing the mask maker piece, just because it's a cool character. It's one of those characters that, like, you can get away with, I think, not visiting them. They you know, like, it's just, they're kind of a somewhat, not really secret, but they're a character that's kind of tucked away in their own little area, and you may well not even realize that it's there and just get on with the game. So they're a nice, fun little secret, and I enjoy fun little secrets in these games. But I'm just having a little look. See, what's their sort of color scheme like? It's quite subtle, I think, actually. But there's an interesting color to their cloak, so I think that'll be fun. But what, God, good lord, this picture's so tiny. No, give me a larger picture. Give me a larger picture to get a look at the mask maker, please, and thank you. There we go. That'll do. That gives me something of an idea of what to do with the background. Okay, I think I have an idea of how to give this an interesting background. I'm gonna try and economize on the background details in this piece, just because I don't want to draw too much attention away from the, like, I could do a whole, like, a wall of masks in the background or that kind of thing. I don't really want to. I want to kind of hold focus on this central section. So I'm just gonna move my one set of paints out of the way. I'm gonna open these paints, and I'm gonna put down some lavender. This is not necessarily a super screen accurate choice. I just think it'll be cute. This section is not the most colorful when it comes to, like, underpainting. But I just want it as an antenna, like a little bug. Says Joe. Most of these dudes be in some way bug related or bug inspired of some description. Some seem more buggy than others. Oh no. Well, I'm dead. Anyways. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now there goes my real voice. You have no idea how much work it is to try and maintain sounding like this. I kid. Ooh, exciting times. I will probably pop it in my Discord and, like, boost it over on my socials and stuff. But I was a special guest on a podcast I recorded a couple weeks ago. I meant the tram. The tram has an antenna like a little bug. Maybe that's why there's a tram in Hollow Knight. That's why there's a tram in Hollow Knight. Anyways, I'm gonna pop a link to my Discord. Because, yeah, I guessed it on a podcast talking about, now this was through the specific lens of that pirate TV show that y'all know I'm a fan of. But I do also just drop a lot of tidbits to do with 18th century fashion and various facets of it. So even if you haven't seen the pirate program and that doesn't interest you, there might be something of interest to you if you think that, like, historical clothing and that kind of thing and related topics are the kind of thing that might be of interest to you. Anyways, but yeah, I had a really fun time chatting with the host for this podcast, so I hope people enjoy. It was a lot of fun. And I got to ramble to an interested party about one of my special interests, and that's always one of my favorite things to do. Hopefully I didn't get too nervous and, like, get any major details wrong. But I do try and be as well researched as I can going into such things, so hopefully it'll all be good. Now then. Ooh, this, you know what? This lavender backdrop is a little bit pinker than I was expecting it to be, but actually I was thinking it was going to be a little bit bluer than this, but I think I can make it work. I think we can make this work. I think it'll be fine. Okay. Really just going right out to the edges of this paper, which is not particularly what I intended to do. Oh no, there's a little tear on the back of it. I'm just going to get rid of that. Anyways, But, yes. Now then. At least this paper seems to be... I am concerned about the performance of my other paper sheet. Because of the masking fluid fiasco. The fiasco, as it were. But I think it'll be okay. I also kind of had to extrapolate with this piece what I felt like it would look like whatever this guy is sitting on in his little art studio. I had to kind of make an educated guess as to what I thought he was sitting on, and I was like, okay, he's got this huge body and he's hunched over this desk, so I have to imagine he's like hunched over like just the tiniest little stool that he's somehow perched his butt on. And that brings me a lot of joy, actually. I think that's fun. Sorry I keep turning the canvas. I would like to try not to get paint into areas that I don't want there to be paint. Oh good, I got paint onto the desk. Well, that's fine. That's gonna get painted over anyways. I can lift that in a second. But anyways. Isn't it funny that I am so, like, I was absolutely in no way flapped by, like, the masking fluid fiasco of earlier. Like, absolutely no flappage. No flappage whatsoever. And yet, I've been absolutely flapped for, like, I don't know, months now, maybe months. Hi, Tals, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Hello. I've been absolutely flapped for months because I'm going to a couple of gigs. One is at the end of this month, one is in the middle of June, and I'm going by myself, and I have yet to find out if anyone else I know is going to them, and I'm feeling a lot of anxious feelings about it, and I don't like it. Otherwise, you get paint hand, says Joe. I don't want paint hand. I do not want it. Anyways, Joe has alerted me to a Lego set, so I'm gonna try and pop out this link so we can have a little a good look-see at it. Anyways, I'm gonna pop this to one side because that needs to dry now. Plap! And I'm gonna have to think about what color I want the background for the fall naked to be. Also shared in Discord, says Joe. Thank you. Let me get this up on screen. Flip. Nope. Hold up. No. I copied too much text. I copied the whole message. Okay. Is it working? Oh, no. Y'all, get a load of this good Lego. That is so cute. That is so stinking cute. I love it. What about teal, says Joe? Ooh, I could do teal. I want to have a look, see what the like, gift with purchase upscaled baby astronaut. Oh, I want a baby astronaut to be my son. That is a very, very cute Lego set. I love it. Also, I feel like even with my lack of skills, I wouldn't kill those plants, which always feels really good. I'm waiting till I can order, says Jim. Yes, do it. Are they holding hands, says Stan? I hope they're holding hands. If they're not holding hands, they should. They're kind of holding hands. I gotta say, it does kind of look like they're holding hands, and you know what? I love that. Okay, headcanon. They're in love. You cannot kill Lego plants, says Joe. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past me, but I'll take your word for it. They're the only things I cannot kill, says Joe. Oh my god, relatable. Anywho. That is really, 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 really cute. I love them. They're so cute. I'm gonna have to add that to my, maybe I'll get this Lego one day list. What was that going to do? Oh yeah, Hollow Knight, False Knight. What colors are you? I know, like, the False Knight itself, like, the armor is, like, gray, basically. Like, it's very gray. But, yeah, I think I could actually probably get away with kind of a tealy blue gradient in the background, and I thought that might be pretty. So I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll do, like, a teal to blue gradient. I think that sounds really nice. So if I go from like, if we go from like here to here or here to here, something like that, I think this would work really well for False Night. Okay, awesome. Yay. We've got a plan of action. Now we get to do it. Hurrah. Okay. So I'm just going to start by getting a whole bunch of you onto my brush and then get that from my brush to the palette. Hooray. Thought you'd appreciate them, Joe. I very much appreciate and thank you so much for bringing them to my attention because I did not know and I had not seen and I love that I know and have seen now. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my mint tea because I'm very dehydrated. Hey everyone, if you haven't had anything to drink lately, you should consider doing that. Please hydrate your cells in your body. It's important and it keeps you alive. And that's something that's important to me. Stay good. Why am I like this? I don't know. Anyways, Joe, thank you for the hydrate. I will have a sip of my second tea. And thank you very much. And thank you for the posture check as well, my friend. I will do a little stretchy. Oh my god, what the heck did I do to my lower back? Ow! Ow! Ow, my spine! Ow! Ow! No! I am very stiff today. I spent a lot of time on the weekend just kind of lying and resting and not moving around a lot, and I'm feeling it in my muscles and my joints and my bones now. Like, I was very, very tired and I needed to rest. But with that being said, ow! Stay good, says Tiles. Yes, absolutely. That's the sagest advice that I have. Is stay good. Stay alert. Stay safe. Anyways, way too much of my brain is preoccupied with references to 90s PSAs from Canada that no one but me will remember probably. Like, stay alert, stay safe. Anyways, those bland cartoons about safety. At least in Canada we didn't have so many of the, like, child safety PSAs that were just straight up traumatic. Like, oh, what was his name? Was it the British one that was like was it Jimmy or was it Timmy? I can't remember. Tell says, I remember that jingle, but not what it is keeping me safe from. I honestly could not say. I haven't the foggiest. So, I mean, did it do its job? I'm not sure, but also it's been a solid, like, 30 to 35 years, so maybe it's no longer really that important for me to remember. At this point, they're like, oh, you know what, you're over 40, you're on your own. Like, forget it, pal. Anywho. Oh man, I can't believe I goofed on this piece so bad. It does give me mild worry that I won't get it done by the end of the stream. I think we'll be okay. I really do, but it might be a squeezin', especially since I had some technical difficulties at the top of stream and did start a little bit later than I had planned to do. So there we go. Hooray. Anywho, I am pre-wettening the canvas a little bit before putting down, like, my main swath of color. Just, you know, honestly, just for fun. Just for fun. It will... Wet paint on wet paper makes for nice textures and nice sort of color flow as well. So that should be fun. And also, it tends to mean that the color just flows in and out of places where I've already wetted the canvas and won't want to flow onto areas where the paper is dry, which is advantageous for moi when I've got potentially weirdly masked out little guy here. It actually kind of gives me a little bit more control over where the paint wants to go. Ah, shoot! It's we're gonna have a little break in like a minute, so apologies for that. I've just noticed. I'm gonna try and get the rest of this paint down before it does that. Just gonna come down like so to here. La 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 la, sha la la la. Okay, and then we give the paper a turn, and I switch to my other paint and hope it just kind of comfortably bleeds into each other. That's the idea anyways. We're an hour in painting already. We're making good time, says Dan. Hell yeah. Thank you. I honestly, I feel very proud. And despite our earlier troubles, I'm feeling pretty good about how this piece is looking so far. So I like this blue teal gradient. I think it's cute. I hope you like it as well. We are about to have a little BRB. I am going to pop on the BRB screen just as soon as I finish this little field of color right here. So you shan't miss a thing. And I'll be back in just a minute. So it's BRB time, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll be back in just a minute. Enjoy the BRB screen in the meantime and the BRB song. And in the meantime, BRB! Sup, nerds? I'm back. Hi. Hi, everybody. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for sticking around. Hello, Hermfirst. Welcome in. And thank you for doing the little dancey dance. Always love to see it, Tels. Anyways, this bad boy needs to dry down a little bit before I can tackle, you know, actually painting the false knight. So, we're going to have to set that to one side and do a little bit of work on tomorrow's prompt, which is mask. Which, hopefully this is dry enough that I can do a little painting over it, because I gotta. Anyways. I hope everyone had good weekends. I'm trying to remember what I did this weekend. I think I did some reading. I did some useless writing. And I did some painting for Hollow Knight Art Month. If you're following my socials or are on the Discords where I've been posting them, you'll have seen them, probably, maybe. I don't know. But they're out there if you're curious. What else did do's? That's a good question. Oh, I made chili last night. I was very proud of it. I had the leftover chili for lunch today, and it was really good. I didn't have any more like sharp cheddar cheese to sprinkle over the top, which is what I'd done previously. So this time I just tried to like cut a baby bell up into little chunks because I didn't want to try and grate a baby bell into grated cheese because it's so tiny, because it's just like one of these. So there were just like chunks of baby bell on top of my chili, but it was really good. I feel like chili is one of those dishes where it's like, I'm cooking it for tonight because I need to have dinner tonight, but I'm also aware of the fact that it's going to be even more delicious as leftovers. It's even more delicious as leftovers. Oh my goodness. Yum. Anyways, okay. So I'm gonna layer over some backgroundy stuff. That's the wrong set of paints. I'm gonna layer over some backgroundy stuff with these bad boys. Specifically, this one paint that I'm gonna run out of before the rest of them. Leftovers base is cranky. Oh my gosh, they were so good. I don't make foods that make leftovers very often. Like, I really don't. Part of the reason for that is just that I can be quite, like, fickle about stuff like that. If the leftovers have been sitting in the fridge for too many days, I'm like, that doesn't feel safe to eat anymore. So I'm not sure that I want to. But then sometimes it'll sit for a few days because I'm like, well, I had a big portion of that, like, the other night. I don't feel like eating it again yet. I don't tend to repeat meals like 2 nights in a row or 2 days in a row. Unless I'm on like a very specific kick of something, but usually if I'm on a very specific kick, it'll be for like a snack. Like I'll just want to eat like a thing of yogurt and granola every day, or I'll want to have like a packet of Whatsits every day, or like a specific kind of tea that I'll just get a real taste for, but it tends not to be for things like meals. Like meals, I don't really like to repeat that quickly. I don't know. It's like autism and ADHD are having a fight in my brain about food. And they've just decided, okay, you can have this category and you can have this category. Anyways, I want to watch when I have chores help, says Cranky. Oh, beans. Well, if you do ever want to get caught up on past streams, I have a VOD channel on YouTube. Things are slightly edited because of the background music that I use. I'm only licensed to use it on one YouTube channel, and that's my regular channel where I post like scripted videos. And things that like I do a bunch of research and stuff on, which you can also subscribe to. I'm so close. I'm so close to 200 subscribers, and it would make me feel real good to get there for my birthday. I know the numbies don't mean anything, and I know like I'm about a gazillion miles away from like monetization threshold anyways. And even if I reached monetization threshold, I know how little money you get from YouTube AdSense. But you know, partially because I saw a video earlier today where someone talked about how little money she makes from YouTube AdSense, and was like, yeah, here's this video. It got like, I don't know, like, probably like somewhere in like the 70,000 views and got like $70 in ad revenue. Wow. Great. Good job. Fun. That's sustainable as an income. It's not. It's really not. But, yeah, so I'm not too concerned about that, but I would like people to look at them, because I put a lot of work into them as much as I can, and I'm pretty proud of what I'm able to do given, like, my time constraints and a complete lack of budget, because I have no money for this. I do these for $0. £0. No pennies. I lose money making videos. But it's fun. And I want to get to do more of it, so we are here. Anyways, already subbed, cannot sub twice, says Joe. That's okay. I really appreciate that you're subbed once. Thank you so much. Anywho. Okay. I'm gonna hope that this rubbing a bluish cast over this lavender gives us a nice, pretty effect. Such is my hopes and dreams. I don't think I've really done this combo of paints before, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to look bad in any case. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to go on about my YouTube channel. I'm just really jazzed about what I've been doing there at the moment. I was really happy with the way this last video came out. And I'm really jazzed about some of the things that I'm working on for future videos right now. I think they'll be very fun. Hopefully interesting and informative. I don't know, it's a weird channel because they say that you should have like a very specific niche, because that way like the algorithm knows what to do with you, but I really struggle to have a very specific niche. Because there are so many different things that interest me. Like, I just made a video about soap. My next video is going to be about milk. I'm also planning to make a video about a very specific type of bread. And go into some history within that. I have some other ideas. I don't know. I have an idea that has to do with trains, but that might end up becoming part of, like, a numbered list, because I don't know. I don't know if trains is just too granularly nerdy for people who don't really care about trains in particular to want to watch a video about, and that's fair. And I don't want people to come in to a video about trains and think that, oh, it's a train YouTuber, and I'm like, oh, and then the next video I'm like, here I am making a shirt, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Manage your expectations, I guess. Here's my channel. Manage your expectations. That should just be the tagline of all of my content. Manage your expectations. Anyways. But yeah. Hey, train tubers need shirts too, says Cranky. This is true. This is true. They would get demonetized if they didn't wear shirts. But yeah, I was gonna go into some shirt history, which again is a whole other niche. I'm not gonna start becoming like a fashion YouTuber. I like talking about the history of like everyday stuff though, just generally. Like my present milk research, as well as like the video that I made about tea and tea bags. There are one video about tea, and then a sequel of sorts about tea bags and their invention. Kind of. It is a whole thing. You should just go watch it, if you haven't. What else? Tea bags. Various baking recipes. Which is gonna get weird because I can't eat wheat anymore, which is part of the reason that I'm like, I'm gonna make a video about milk. I'm gonna make a video about shirts. Because I kind of would like to expand away from just doing baking recipes because I have to use gluten-free flour now. So it kind of makes that a little bit more tricky to navigate, I guess. There was a weird water line that I wanted to get rid of, and now that I've done that, I'm like, I keep having to like chase where a new water line would be. So I'm having to add more paint. Than I had planned to do. Hopefully I can get to an area where I can just kind of fade it out and just stop. Maybe if I just do the floor thus, and then call it a day for this color. Yay! I can't see any of the pencil lines that I put up here for the weird sort of set dressing-y gubbins that was going to be on this piece. I can't see any of those lines. I'm just going to have to guess when I get to that. I love the way this background looks right now. I think that looks really atmospheric and cool. I might just leave it at that for the background, because actually I think this looks really atmospheric and cool. But I'll come back to that when I get to it, I think. Are you dry yet? Oh, shoot, you're not quite dry yet. Okay, I'm going to have to vamp for a minute. Anyways, bunch of naked train enthusiasts. I don't know what they're conducting, says Cranky. Oh! Demonetized! Milk tea? I do like a good milk tea. I very much do like a good milk tea. I had the nicest tea yesterday. I think it's called Black Sun. I think if memory serves, it's called Black Sun. It was from Postcard Teas, which is like a specialty tea shop in London. And it is a Japanese black tea that has been very lightly roasted. And it has like... that gives it like this additional richness and just a touch of smokiness, but not like an intense, like... Sometimes I find that certain like Lapsang Souchong teas are too smoky for me. Like, if I'm drinking it and it tastes kind of like bacon, that's too smoky for me personally. But this has there's just like a whisper. It's just like a little waft, you know? I like that. I think that's really nice. So yeah, enjoyed that yesterday. I might have some more of that. I'm kind of, I don't know, I go through like stages with teas where I'm just like, oh man, I really want to just be drinking like herbal teas at the moment. And I've been on a real herbal tea kick for a while. But then I had this, for some reason I was just like, I just want like a Builder's. I just want a Builder's. So I made a Builder's with this Black Sun tea yesterday, and oh my god, it was so good. Not sponsored, but Postcard Teas, if you do want to sponsor my content, get in touch. I am available. But also, I have principles, so there are a lot of things I would not let sponsor me. Joe says, oh, my tea, it's by the kettle. Go get it. Go get it. I'm glad I could give you a reminder. Partially because I do that all the time. I will make myself a cup of tea, be like, okay, I'm just going to go sit down and like work on a task and give that 5 minutes. And then like 25 minutes will pass and I'll be like, oh no. Oh shit, my tea, and like run back to the kitchen and my tea is like tepid and it's still steeping and I'm like, oof. Cranky says postcard tea is pro kicking puppies. No! No, they aren't. Sorry, postcard tea slander. Please don't slander postcard teas. They are a good, as far as I know, they are a very good, reputable, independent retailer of specialty teas. I hadn't put the water in yet. All good. Oh, thank goodness, Joe. I'm glad to hear that your tea wasn't stewed beyond, like, salvation. Which has happened to me. Oh, God. Thank goodness it was a mint tea. But the other day I'd made myself a mint tea, and it sat in the kitchen for, like, an hour, and I went to get it, and I was like, the bag is still in, and it's room temperature now. But as long, you know, when it's like a mint tea or something, it can kind of just sit forever. It'll just reach a certain point of like extraction and just not really extract any further than that, and then it'll be fine. Whereas with a black tea or a green tea, if it sits for too long, it can get like bitter and not very pleasant. So yeah. Got it. There's only so much that you can add sugar on top of. Okay. I think there is a little bit of wet paint over here, which does make me nervous, but I think we can potentially paint in some other bits. Is this all, this paint is all dry up here, so I can potentially take off the masking fluid around this doodad and start painting that in, and then look at the getting the other stuff done as well. Okay. I am trying with this year's Hollow Knight Art Month, you know, every time that there comes along a, like, month-long art prompt list challenge doodad, I always say to myself, I'm going to try and keep things relatively simple, relatively streamlined, and not overcomplicate any of the prompt fills for myself. I'm going to keep things, you know, relatively, like, straightforward because I'm aiming to do one with enough time to post something every single day, which is a lot, especially when you have other responsibilities and other tasks you have to do throughout the day. It's a lot to do something of this, like, level of detail every day. And you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not painting every single day, but I'm painting way more days than I do, on, like, non-prompt thing months. There are many months where I really don't do a ton of painting off stream unless I've got specific commissions or, like, personal work that doesn't really fit with what I want to do on stream, and sometimes I do. Sometimes it'll be like designs for my shop, or conversely it might be something like just something that's like really specific. Like I really want to paint my Blorbos, but I know that like probably no one on stream wants to watch me paint like my Blorbos. And sometimes, you know, like, especially if you're having, like, art block or that kind of thing, when I have art block, I find that I tend to go back to just wanting to paint very certain specific things that it's just, like, this is just comforting to me. I don't know if anyone else is going to care about this, but these are my Blorbos, and I just want to put my Blorbos in situations that are soft and pleasant and then illustrate them. But it's like, does anyone else want to see me painting, you know, like Geordi and Data from Star Trek The Next Generation dressed as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson? Possibly not, but that would be really cozy to me. I want to see Blorbos, says Cranky. Well, you might get your wish. I mean, you know, Hollow Knight characters are kind of Blorbo adjacent, so... like, that's fair. I mean, is Hornet Blorbo? I don't know. With the situations I put Hornet in, she kind of is Blorbo. Like, she's got her little... she's listening to her little MP3 player on the TTC here, so, you know, that's a thing. I had the idea for this piece initially, literally, almost a year ago when I was in Toronto. And you'll understand why when it's done. You will understand why when it's done. Words. Draw, says Cranky. Words. I see. All I can draw is blorbows. Blorbows are such a good thing to draw. I love seeing other people's blorbows. I'm being unfair on myself, being like, nobody wants to see my like, I love seeing other people's blorbows. What the hell am I talking about? Anyways, I'm silly. Gonna take my brush. And I don't know if this is the right color I want to be using, but I'm just gonna go in with this blue that we've been using. And the false night is going to be a bluish gray. Because why? Because A, I think it'll be pretty. And B, because it's a color that I already have on my palette. And I can use some of it up. And that makes my life just a tittle bit easier. And I love that for me. So hell yeah. Homebrew says, I swam today for the first time this summer. The water was pretty darn cold. Was it an outdoor swim, or did you go to like an indoor pool? Because if it was outdoors, I'm not surprised that it's still cold. Because even though like the temperature is warming up here, it's still only getting up into like the low 20s in terms of degrees, which means that the water is going to be several degrees colder than that. So yeah, that sounds so nice though. I love that for you. I love to swim. I don't get to swim nearly as often as I'd like. There aren't really any outdoor areas that are like safe to swim in or like comfortable to swim in near where I live. There are bodies of water and rivers and stuff, but in terms of my local area, I wouldn't swim in those. Would not. There are, you know, like there's some river that runs through the center of town, but there are a lot of people on punts out there all the time, and I don't want to get hit in the head by a punt if I'm trying to have a swim. I don't want to be attacked by ornery ducks who are way used to tourists feeding them bread. So they're not afraid of people enough. And then just like, you know, like canals and things where there are boats, so you really shouldn't be swimming there. And there's loads of boats. I don't think they're very clean. So there really isn't anywhere that I can swim outdoors nearby. But there are leisure centers, so there's like a pool I can go to, but the pool schedule isn't very good, so I just never do. Anyways, it was outdoor swimming. Nice. I love that for you. I'm so jealous. It's starting to get warmer here today. Like it was like 20 degrees. Nice. Our temperatures have been really up and down here, I would say. Like, I'm just gonna go have a look at the weather forecast. This is the kind of stream we're having today. I'm just looking at the weather forecast for you. Oh yeah, it's like, here's my weather forecast for like the week. It's like, today was a high of 19, then 22, then 19, then 17, then 19, then 18, then 17 for the week. So yeah, we're looking at like high teens, and oh good, it's gonna rain on my birthday now. It's gonna rain on my birthday! Yay! At least I didn't really have plans for my birthday. I'm gonna stay in and make like a cake or a pie, and we're gonna go out for a meal on like an adjacent day, because my birthday's on a Sunday and I don't really want to go out for a meal on a Sunday night. Yeah, looking at maybe getting Japanese food, which I'm very excited about, because depending on the Japanese restaurant you go to, there's a lot of safe wife foods, and that makes this wife happy. There are restaurants these days where I struggle, because there's just a lot of ingredients that I can't eat. And it makes me feel really sad. Not because I don't like the foods I can eat, just because it's like, oh man, I really love, like, there's this restaurant in London. If you are in or near or going to London and you haven't been to Padella and you can eat pasta and you like pasta, for the love of God, go to Padella. It's so good. But if you don't want to have to like queue up, get reservations for the Padella that's in Shoreditch, because they take reservations. But the pasta's phenomenal. I've been there twice, and it's so good. Though I would say my absolute favorite thing about that restaurant is getting a basket of bread for the table and then using the bread to swipe the tomato sauce off of the plate once I have finished my pasta. That is the perfect bite. The perfect bite is a bit of that super good sourdough bread. A swipe of their amazing tomato sauce. Best food. 100% best food. Man, now I'm sad that I can no longer eat at Padella because it will make me sick. So y'all, if you are in or near or planning to go to London, please go to Padella for me and get a basket of bread with your pasta, okay? Please. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. That's assuming that they're still open. I haven't been since sometime maybe last summer? I don't know. Anyways. It's been a wee while. Can't wait for blueberry season. I'm gonna make so many pies this home person. Hell yeah, I love that for you. I've got some rhubarb in the fridge at the moment. I'm thinking of maybe making a crumble tomorrow with it. I need to do something with it. And crumble is a nice way to use up rhubarb. Love a rhubarb crumble. Also, it's a little lazier than a pie for a weeknight, which I always appreciate that. So you know. Anyways, all right. I've just got the Google image search page up for the false night, so I can like look at them, I guess, while I'm trying to paint, just to make sure I've got the colors right, because I don't trust myself to know how to do things correctly. You know how it goes. Anyways. Hope that's okay. But, oh man, I love that blueberries. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous that you have blueberries, but I'm also so happy for you that you have blueberries, because blueberries, fresh blueberries, jammy blueberries, blueberry pie, it's so good. I love blueberries. I really, really do. Okay. I'm bringing back the big brush for this. I'm bringing back the big brush because I need to cover a reasonably big amount of space, because I'm going to do this guy's beautiful tummy. I love the false knight. He's so spherical, which is such a wonderful shape to be. I too am spherical, so, you know, I may be lightly biased about how great it is to be a sphere, but, am I wrong? No. It's friend-shaped. This little guy is friend-shaped. And we love that about him. Is he one of the first, like, possible boss fight encounters in the game? Yes. Is he a really nice introduction to what boss fights are like in the game? Also, yes. Yes, he is. Tal says, oh, blueberry pies are delicious. Wholeheartedly agree. They are very, very good. Very, very good indeed. Okay. Just getting a little vague shadinginess on this just from the outset, I think is no bad thing. I just noticed something about the little doodad up here that I'm gonna have to fix. Or rather, maybe if I just keep layering paint on top of the areas that I want to be darker, actually it's fine. And I don't need to fix anything. It's all good. I think that's what I'm going to do. I pick my own berries. I mostly pick, lingonberries, so good. Cloudberries. Oh, you've got lingonberries and cloudberries in your vicinity. I love that for you. I'm too far south for... I don't know if I'm too far south for lingonberries to grow, but I'm definitely too far south for cloudberries to grow. I think you can get them in some bits of Scotland, but certainly not down in like mid South England, unfortunately. So if I want cloudberries, I have to buy a ready-made jam, or I can get frozen berries from like one specific shop in London. which does me a mild sadness because they are yummy. So I love that for you very much. I do. But we do have strawberries here, which I love, and strawberries are in season right now. There is actually, on the outskirts of my city of residence, there is a farm where you can go strawberry picking, but it's far enough away from like any bus routes that I basically can't get to it. Like if I were to walk, if I were to go as far as the bus would easily take me, and then walk about 30 minutes farther along than that, or maybe yeah, about 30 minutes farther along than that, along a country road where cars go real fast, and there's no like pedestrian walkway / like pavement to speak of. So you're just kind of walking in a ditch next to cars that are like, gotta go fast, I'm out in the country. Beep beep. Does me a frighten, and I don't like this. Feels real bad. So the only times that I've ever been to the farm where you can go berry picking is when we've been with someone who has car access, and at those times we weren't going berry picking, we just went to like the farm shop and the cafe. So I've been to the farm shop and the cafe, and those are nice, but it's not going berry picking. And I would love to get to go berry picking, but it's one of those things that I can't really do because I'm just near enough to the city that I'm just far enough from like the pick your own berries farm that I can't go do it, and it does me a little bit of a sadness, to be honest. But so it goes. You know, that's fine. Anyways, oh my god, what the heck did I do to my back? It's so sore. It's really sore. What is going on? It's genuinely, like, it's wild to me how sore my back is right now. Owie. Homefresh says, when I was a kid, I spent hours trying to find forest strawberries, but they are quite rare. Yeah. Oh, but the wild strawberries are so good. They're so good. My grandmother, in her garden, has grown strawberries, and they're like the teeny tittle ones, and genuinely the most delicious, loveliest, most amazing strawberries I've ever eaten in my entire life came from my grandmother's backyard. She's growing asparagus. She grows asparagus most years. She's growing asparagus this year, and I was speaking to my mother yesterday, and she was telling me about going into my grandmother's back garden and picking the asparagus for her and how nice it was, and I'm just like, oh. Do I have asparagus in the fridge? Yes. Did I, does it come from like the garden of someone I love? No. It comes from the garden of, I don't know, a random organic farmer somewhere in the region, I guess. Which is also good, but it's not, it's not like your loved one's garden, which is always going to be the most delicious, assuredly. Okie dokie. Time for leggies. I can definitely see in some places that this paper is a little bit chewed up because of what happened with the masking fluid. I'm choosing not to let it bother me because I cannot change this. Let's just say it's a feature rather than a bug. I mean, this guy is a bug, but you know what I mean. Anyways. Okay, I'm gonna do his little shoulder pauldron things here. Don't ask me how the mechanics of any of this armor works. I just drew the shapes I saw on the pictures. Because I know pretty much bupkis about how armor works generally. It's not really my subject of expertise. I'm more interested in terms of like, clothing. I'm more interested in soft garments generally, and how they work. And hopefully that's fine. Oh yeah, I can see, especially over here, the paper is looking a little bit chewy where the paint is going on now. Like, can you see that texture? Have you ever tasted a Finnish blueberry pie? No, I have not. I have not. Is there anything that... Does it have any distinctive features that I should know about? Should it sway me in terms of what my planned holiday destination was for this year? I would like to visit Finland, but I don't know if pie can be the reason that I go to one place and not another. Actually, it probably can't be. But I would love to know if there's anything in particular about a Finnish blueberry pie. I bet it's delicious. I've never met a blueberry pie that I didn't love, to be fair. If it's got blueberry and it's got some kind of pastry, it's probably going to be fit as heck. I feel like the line weight is going to need to do a reasonable amount of heavy lifting with this piece. Because yikes. Right now it's looking kind of scruffy. But no, I'm not super worried about it. I think it'll still turn out really cute. All right. We're getting there. Ooh, I forgot to do his undercarriage. Hold up. This needs painting in as well. Sorry, little undercarriage. Let's get you colored in. At least this big round boy doesn't have a fluffy tuft on his undercarriage. Like, I love the Dung Defender, but he has just this little tuft of fluff, like, right there, and it's like, that's a really unfortunate location for that. It does make me wonder if, like, I don't know, if he's just wearing armor and, like, his whole body is fluffy, that would be adorable. Yeah, it looks a lot different than American pies. I have one reason for you. There are tons of cute reindeer in northern Finland. I wish to befriend the reindeer. I would love to befriend the reindeer. That would be delightful. That would be delightful. I want to befriend them all. Mash, thank you for the hydrate. I will take a sip of this. The residue at the bottom of this is just bits of chamomile flowers because they always get through the tea strainer. Anyways, hi Mesh, how are you? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. I am going to do a little googly search because my curiosity has been piqued. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, that looks fit! Sorry, I'm just looking at pictures of Finnish blueberry pie. Recipe. Ooh! Yeah! Check it, y'all. This looks really good. This looks like it is 100% my vibe. Be careful, they like to walk on the road. It's fine, home first. I don't drive. I'll walk with them. Mash, thank you so much for the posture check. My lower back is still killing me. So I will do a little stretch. How am I doing? My lower... But there's this one very specific spot on my lower back. And it's like... It's offset. It's not like in the middle. It's specifically on the right side. And it's definitely muscular. Like, it doesn't feel like an organ pain. Like, it's on the outside. But... what the hell did I do to it? I feel like I must have just slept funny or something. Or maybe I sat funny yesterday. I don't know, but I'm doing a lot of stretchies now, so thank you. Oh, ow. Mesh is just... Oh my god, Mesh, what do you do? Mesh is just burning through their channel points, apparently. But they want to know about... Oh, pretzels, you're not going to do that to me as well. Why would you do that? Oh, my back pain's back. Thank you very much. And it's time to do the old-timey mid-Atlantic accent for the next 5 minutes. I do apologize to anyone listening. If this isn't your bag. But never mind. Because I need to tell you some things about coffee. So recently I was reading a little bit of this. There's this rare subtype of coffee that's it's a different varietal to the standard ones. Most of the coffee you encounter is probably either Arabica or Robusta, in terms of its subtype of the coffee plant. But there's this other one that's kind of up and coming called Eugenioides, and it has a slightly the seed size is a little bit smaller, and it's supposed to be quite remarkable in terms of flavor and stuff. But reviews I've seen, at least on the r/coffee Reddit, because it's very expensive and I'm not going to pay for it, have been mixed. Either it's the smoothest, least acidic coffee they've ever had, says one person, and another person's like, it was fine. So, but I think that's quite interesting that there are interesting innovations going on in terms of the cultivation of coffee and possible different cultivars and varieties of the coffee plant that might make interesting cups of coffee of differentness to each other, and perhaps even more delicious than the delicious coffee that we have available to us today. The coffee I had today was just a fairly straight ahead washed bean from I believe it was from El Salvador, and had really nice notes of coffee mainly.
Oh hell yeah, Angels_Joe just subscribed.
Sledge, my dearest darling, my sunshine, my love, my dove, my best friend, my sweet cheese, my good time boy, thank you very much indeed for gifting a sub to the wonderful Joe. Joe, enjoy your emotes and stuff. And thank you very much for the sub. Thank you. Anywho, Mesh also wants to know about tea. Well, what shall I say? Oh, I know what I shall say. I shall tell you a little bit more about Black Sun, which is the black tea I was drinking yesterday. Now, you may know that Japan is known for its tea cultivation. They do grow a lot of tea in Japan, and produce a lot of very, very fine, lovely varieties of tea, but largely centered around the green type, which is tea leaves that have not been oxidized. But there's a small component of tea producers in Japan making black teas as well, though it's much less common. Which is the fully oxidized tea leaves. You know, the sort of thing, if you just have like a bag of Yorkshire tea or whatever, that's a black tea. Anywho. And this specific one came from, it was grown in Aichi Prefecture, and it is lightly roasted, and I did think that was quite interesting. A very interesting, innovative cup of black tea. So it's kind of interesting to see that when they do seem to grow black tea or produce black tea in Japan, they do it a little bit differently, you know, and I think that's quite neat. Anyways, Gazillion out of 10 do recommend, if you have a chance to try a black tea that was grown in Japan, give it a go. One of the things I really enjoy about black teas, and tea in general, is that oftentimes you do get a bit of a terroir, that is really difficult to say with the accent, situation, in as much as it carries a bit of that flavored DNA of where it was grown, which is delightful. Anywho, first, thank you very much for the hydrate. I will do a little hydration. I'm very entertained, says Mesh. Oh, good. Wonderful. At least someone is. Anywho, I also need to give you an affirmation, so just one moment, please. Yum. Right. Let me fetch one of my affirmation decks. That's the thing I was thinking about. One of these days I should make one of these. I think that'd be nice. Anywho, Mesh says, you're very silly. Am I? Am I really? I didn't know. Anyways, this is an affirmation deck. I'm going to draw an affirmation from it. I am. Right. Well, I do try my best. Truly I do. And sometimes with all of these dash redeems, you do put me in something of a humdinger of a situation. So, I totally get why your moderator decided to become your spouse. To be fair, he was my spouse before he became my moderator, in fact. That's the order we did it in. We've been married for just a little over 10 years now, but I've only been streaming for about 4. And yet he somehow still puts up with it. He's a good man, very patient. And when did you slash them? Oh gosh, I really shouldn't say, it's personal. Anyways, that's a little personal, so I shan't say. Anywho, Um, I will say I think this person is incredibly good looking at first sight for me. But I'm going to draw a card from the middle of the doodah. I have drawn a card from the middle of the doodah. Here's hoping it's one we haven't had yet, because there are so many cards that I'd really hope we don't get a repeat. Oh God, I'm feeling this. Feeling it. You deserve love. Your feelings are valid. It's true. If you think like, oh man, I don't deserve. Yes, you do. You are worthy of love. You very much are. And I hope that you know that. I hope that you're feeling it. And I hope that whatever feelings you're feeling, you know that those feelings are valid, and you it's have them. Have whatever feelings you're feeling. They're valid, okay? And you deserve to be loved. Okay? You are good. And you deserve love. And your feelings are valid. Yeah, anyways. Mash says, Ogum, does moderator / Fez have a cute face? That's awesome. He does. Listen, he's lying. He's lying in the chat right now. He's got a beautiful face. He's lying. He is lying to you. He's adorable. Trust me. There's pictures of him on my socials. If you wanna creep on it. But yes. Anyways. Okay. That little break gave us enough time for this pass of color to dry down a little bit, because I think I want this to be a shade darker before we start looking at like shading and line weight and stuff. So I'm gonna add in a little more of this color. I'm gonna leave like the tummy portion this sort of lighter gray, because I think I actually quite like a goodly amount of contrast between the two. I think is actually quite good. Because there is a contrast between the two in the original design. So I'm happy to echo that. Anyways. Slash says a cute bump. Yes, a cute. Both are cute. Both are cute. Hey. 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 Both are cute. Mesh is going on a mental health walk. Oh, wonderful. That sounds really nice. And I hope you have a wonderful day too. Thank you so much for hanging out. Enjoy your walkies. That sounds nice. And an excellent idea. Okie dokie. That reminds me that I need to dispatch my Father's Day card in the next couple of days. Because I don't know how many weeks it'll take to get to Canada. And that's where my daddy lives. I know it's not Father's Day for like a month, but hey, you know, I'd like it to get there on time. You know who else is cute? Mesh, you know what else is cute? You are. You are, so there. Thank you. Anywhoosens. Ha. Tra-la-la. I have to say, I think I mentioned earlier I've been doing a bit of writing. I'm in this really horrible stage where I keep starting writing projects and then not finishing them. I don't know, I just get distracted by other ideas before I can finish the first ones. It's really bad. But I also don't know what I should finish first. You know? It's like... Because I'm also, I guess, very mercurial when it comes to my, like, writing... what inspires me to write. It's like, oh, do I finish this ghost story or do I finish the rom-com that's just set in, like, you know, the modern day? Do I finish writing or do I just write, like, I don't know, something that's set in space? What's your favorite type of tea, says Home Purse? Oh my god, I don't know. I genuinely, it changes so frequently, because I'll, like, go through stages of, really wanting to drink one thing and then really wanting to drink something else. So, like, I drink a mint tea every day for my health, but also because I like it. But sometimes I'll really want, like, in the middle of summer, I just want, like, fruit teas. I just want fruit teas that are cold. Like, you know, like hibiscus and, like, strawberry and that kind of thing. But then when the weather's colder, I'm like, chai. Masala chai. Many varieties of masala chai. And then sometimes I'm just like, you know, I miss the simplicity of a builder's tea. I just want, like, a black tea with milk and sugar. And then sometimes I want an oolong. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. And the answer is a resounding, I just don't know. I like so many different kinds of tea. It's really hard to narrow it down. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's such an unsatisfying answer. I can't really give you a definitive, like, it's this one tea, because I don't really have one. It would be a lot easier if I did. Because I've got so many different kinds of tea in the house that they kind of just... there isn't space for them in the kitchen, so they just live in, like, a series of boxes in the living room. Which is, again, kind of terrible, but here we are. But anyways, it's fine. Okay. Anywho, I'm gonna shamelessly self-promote myself again, if that's okay. I mean, it is my channel, so I guess I just can. But for anyone who's come in recently and missed it before, I made a new YouTube video that went up a little over a week ago. Over on my YouTube channel. I don't know why the two halves of this are different colors. But I'm gonna pop a link to my channel, just in case anyone would like to subscribe. There's no pressure, obviously. I'm just putting it out there for anyone who's recently come in. Had a nice time making my most recent video. I hope you like it very much. It was fun. What else? Working on the script for the next video, hoping to get it out, you know, probably in June, if I can. This one I'm also hoping is a little bit less, research intensive. A little less project intensive, and will therefore not take quite as long to get completed, which would be very, very good. Because YouTube likes you to maintain a somewhat more regular upload schedule than I do. I also have a shop. If you like Hollow Knight art, I do have limited edition Hollow Knight art prints there, and there are some that are not sold out. So you can get those there. And yeah. I think this is gonna want to dry. So maybe I'll look at doing a little gubbins on here. But unfortunately, as I said earlier, I can't see any of the little, like, lines that I'd put in for the funky details happening up at the top there. So I'm just gonna try and kind of extrapolate and guess what they would have been, and hope that I'm right. We'll see how that goes. And I am gonna go upside down for this. But yeah, I can't see those lines at all, so let's just paint in some stuff. No, I'm not going to paint in some stuff because I can already see that I don't like the way it looks. I'm just going to leave it at this, actually. I'm just going to leave it at this. And that's all. Okay, that's created a little water line over on that side that I don't love. But maybe if I just kind of... Oh no, it made it worse. Damn it. No. Okay. Just fill that in with a tiny amount of paint water and hope that no one notices. We'll fix it in post. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. It's fine. But genuinely, I think I just don't really want to futz with that of it all anymore. I think I'm happy with the background just being kind of this kind of misty, muddy stuff. I kind of like that. So I think I might darken the floor just a smidge. With maybe like a thicker amount of paint so that it doesn't lift. Just so we can kind of see where, and just maybe put it specifically where the peeps are in the scene, if that makes sense. Rather than all over. And then when that's done, we can come back. I kind of just want this to be a little sketchy. I'm happy with just a little sketch, like just like that. That's like keeping it real simple here. But I'm hoping when all of this has been colored in, that'll be a little bit more effective. I hope. Fingers crossed. Anyways, Homebrew's had a peach iced tea today. Oh, I love an iced peach tea is so refreshing when it's warm. That sounds so nice. Hell yeah, I love that for you. Love a good iced like peach tea situation. I don't have it very often, but I do find it really nice. There is this is so stupid, but Marks and Spencer's, the like department store / supermarket here in the UK, they do like a chilled lemon tea that I have taken to really liking. Anytime I go past a Marks and Spencer's now, I have to go in and get a bottle of the lemon tea and bring it home because it's just really nice. It reminds me of like the lemon iced teas that I used to drink when I was a youngin' back in Canada, but like tastes more like real tea and it's not as insanely sweet, and I appreciate those things. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think honestly, I know it's like one of the most basic backgrounds I've done for any of these pieces, but I kind of just like the way that like the bloom of this looks. It looks quite just sort of shadowy and atmospheric and a little bit weird on its own. I feel like I don't want to mess with it too much. You know, I'm kind of happy with that. Like this is fine actually. So yay. I guess. And we are about to have a little BRB break. So when we're done with the BRB break, we'll come back to this bad boy, finish doing just a little bit of gentle shading and then some line weight. So BRB, everyone. I will see you very shortly. BRB. Hello, friends. I'm back. Hopefully ads ran. And if they didn't, congratulations on not having to see any ads. There's sometimes this weird like little delay between the ads are gonna run like warning countdown and the ads actually running. So sometimes it does me a little concern that like if I pop away from the computer to do a stretch or like go talk to my moderator / spouse or go to the bathroom, and I usually do any and all of the above, that I'll come back and the ads haven't actually run yet. Then I'll be like, okay, everybody, I'm back. And then the ads run and I'm like, no! I'm talking to my people again. Go away. I just don't know. I just don't know. But anyways, if you did see ads, I'm sorry, because ads suck. And I know this, and I can do nothing about it, unfortunately. It is one of the necessary evils about getting to live stream on a platform that is free to use. But yeah. Just popping some funky little shade anywhere that I think it's possible that it might be. Not thinking too hard about light sources or anything like that, because effort schmeffort. And this is just for funsies, so you know, I'm not too worried about that. Just under the chin. Under his little chin. La, la, la. Okay. Looking cute. I think he's looking a little cute. I hope, anyways. I don't know. I was thinking about what to do with, like, the false night prompt, and I was like, what if I just got real cute about it? And so that's what I decided to do. And here we are. So I will not apologize for this. I think it's very cool of me, and I hope you like it. But it's line weight time, so let's swap out the brushes. Going from biggest brush to littlest brush. This is just a little baby. Where is she? There she is. She's just a little baby. And we love her. I'm going to take another sip of my tea. Meow meow. Okay, let's go. I'm just gonna go straight into this paint, and then I'm gonna get some more paint directly off of the pan because it wants to be nice and thick. I'm gonna start with the weapony beetly thing up here because it's the driest bit of the painting. The one thing about using a really tiny fine brush is just the number of times you have to like re-dip into paint because it runs out so fast. I used to just try and get by on using the like pointed end of like a larger like sort of pointed wash brush like this, but I find that after a while it's a real struggle to get like really fine control like you can with just a tiny brush. So I've kind of graduated into eventually just being like, I'm just going to have to do a lot of dips. Just going to have to do a lot of dips with my tiny brushy. And that's what I do now. And it's fine. Making it a work for me, Is this, am I doing this little creature thing accurately? I don't know. I'm not super concerned about are all the little circles in the right place because that's too granular a level of detail for my brain to deal with right now. This is a daily prompt list and I'm trying to keep things manageable for myself whilst also having to do, other aspects of my life at the same time. When I think about like doing art or like creating things full time, I could not be someone who just sits and paints for like 8 hours a day. For one thing, like back problems, hello. But additionally, I just as much as I love painting and I crave doing painting if I go too long without doing any painting. Like if I went for like a week without doing any painting, I would start getting really antsy about like I want to paint, you know what I mean? But on the other hand, if I were doing it literally all day every day, it would absolutely suck all of the joy out of it for me for a long time, I think, and I don't want to do that to myself. So, yeah. It's important to know what your limits are. But additionally, obviously, there's more to be for most artistic vocations. There's more to being an artist than just sitting and painting or standing and painting. There's also, the ideation stage, the marketing stage, which is quite possibly my least favorite stage. I always feel when I do like a shop update or something like that, it always feels really intrusive to me to like announce it and tell people about it and make posts about it. I feel like I'm spamming, even though it's on my own social feeds, which the people who are following me have chosen to follow. And I honestly don't post about it that often. It's like, when I'm in peak like marketing mode, it's still no more than once a day. If that, it's usually less because I feel sheepish about doing it because I don't want to bother people. Tal says, speaking of, did you know Sammy has a shop? They do. It's right here. Thank you for mentioning it. If you like dumb stickers of cute stuff and art prints of other cute stuff, ta-da! Yeah, anyways. There's stuff there. The annoyingly international postage has just gone up. I'm mad about it. I'm really mad about it. Partially because I have a ton of stamps with the wrong currency amount. And in fact, the last time I placed an order from the Royal Mail website, their website is bad and borked, and it I made a purchase of some stamps that I needed to get because I was running low on stamps, and it was like, oh, there's a problem with your transaction. Please go back to checkout and try again. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just do it again. So I did it again. And lo and behold, it went through twice. And I immediately contacted customer service and was like, could you just immediately cancel one of these orders, please? Because your website is borked and it put the order through twice. And it's quite a lot of money. So could you please cancel one? And they were like, oh, sorry. And by the time they got back to me, it had already been fulfilled and was like on its way. And I was like, no! The one time that you people are actually efficient about getting stamp orders out is the one time I really needed you to not be. So now I get to choose between, you know, going through the, like, lengthy and annoying returns process and eventually getting a refund, or being like, well, listen, I'm going to use up these stamps eventually anyways because people order things from my shop, and just, like, eat that extra expense for the month, which I really did not need, because, man, I keep saying this, every month this year has been a lean month. I keep just not having any money, and I don't know why, and I don't know what's happening, but I'm just poor. 0 out of 10 do not recommend. Being poor sucks. Anyways. But yeah, so that's my plight for the moment. So if it seems like I'm in, like, extra marketing mode, that's the reason. Suddenly not having money. Because the stamp website is borked. But the good news is, if you're from another country, and you order something from me for the next reasonable number of orders, you will be getting a fun Dungeons and Dragons stamp. And if you are from here in the United Kingdom and you order something from my shop, you will either be getting a really cute river animal or some kind of, like, cryptid or mythical creature. So, you know, don't say I'm not out here trying to give you the coolest stamps that I can, okay? Because I am out here trying to give you the coolest stamps that I can. Because I think, you know, if you're ordering something in the post, it's nice. It's nice to get a fun stamp on it. And so I like being able to do that. It's one of the things I find really enjoyable about doing, like, shop stuff. Okay, the one thing that I've just realized about doing this fellow with his helmet off is that it means I have to do a really good job of painting in both his actual face and also the face that's, like, on the helmet. Oh no. No pressure, and I can barely see the pencil lines for the helmet one, possibly because they got wiped off a bit when the masking fiasco happened. But oh well. It'll be fine. I'm not too concerned. Again, this is a daily art prompt list, and if this art isn't perfect, that's okay. It doesn't matter. This is, you know, I'm doing this for fun and for free. Like, it's whatever. It's all good. Anyways. Okay. Nice. Nice. I think I'm gonna leave the, like, actual, like, face markings / like, eyes and nose and mouth and what have you to the very end. Because that's the bit that I'm the most worried about getting looking cute. So I think it stands to reason that I hold off on doing that for as long as possible so I can be anxious about it for as long as possible. And then, of course, remind myself that if anything goes pear-shaped in the space of this painting, like, super horribly, I can always just fix it in post. Like, that is a thing that I can do. I've done that before for other pieces, where it's just like, oops. I think the second day I had one where, like, my hand just lost all ability to, like, hold a paintbrush for a second. I dropped my paintbrush onto my canvas, but it fell like this, right into one of the characters' faces, and just a big spludge of, like, black ink went across their face. So I tried to clean up as much of it as I could, so there was just like a faint marking, but I was like, you know what, I can just kind of clone this out in post, because no one's going to see the original, it doesn't matter. So I did that, and I think that's fine, I don't care. I am very much a traditional artist, but, you know, it's being displayed on the interwebs. If something goes horribly wrong, I'm happy to just fix it in post. I actually had a piece for Stream Ink a couple years ago where I knocked over an ink bottle, or I picked up an ink bottle, and for some reason the cap had not been fully screwed on, and it spilled everywhere, over everything. It was terrible. You can still see it on my cardigan. But the painting there was just like a big splatter of like magenta across this painting that was not supposed to be magenta, and I just dutifully cloned it out in Photoshop, and you cannot tell. Could not tell at all, which I was very proud of myself for being able to like unruin that as well as I was able to do. That felt really good, actually. So, you know, there you go. Anyways, oh no, says Talis. Yeah, it was an ordeal. It was terrifying. So much carpet cleaner. And but you know, so it goes. Such is life. It's fine. I know it's stupid, but I'm really liking this guy being just kind of a happy-go-lucky little buddy. Just like, oh, hey there. You want to have a little fight? Sure. Sounds like fun to me. I just, like, is this canonical? No, not exactly, but you know what it is? It's cute. It is cute, and I'm having fun. So, frankly, whatever. Okay, and I think like so. And then for the hand bit, there we go. Okay, yay. Is good, is cute. Hello. He just loves being a knight. Yeah, exactly. He's just having a good time. Being a knight is a fun activity for this little buddy, and I love that for him. Okay. How? There we go. Alright, cool. Little leggies, little foots. I feel like I made the little legs, they look a little bit like chubbier rather than just armored, but I kind of love that. I didn't want to I wanted to stay pretty faithful to the original design of the false knight, obviously, but I did try and make him a little bit more cuddly, a little bit cute, I think he's already very cute, but I think just a little bit more cuddly here. Just to suit the vibe of the piece. And I've had a great time doing it. Okay. Wait, we're almost done. I hope y'all like this little guy. I think he's fun. Anyways, because I know y'all are curious, I'm having fish fingies for din-dins tonight with fresh asparagus. I'm very excited. Partially because it's a really easy meal that won't take me very long to cook. You know, just bung the fish fingies in the air fryer, and that's kind of it. And steam the asparagus, obviously. Nice and easy. But also, you know, when it's asparagus season, I've got to eat as much asparagus as I can get my greedy little, grubby little paws on. Because I love asparagus very much, but it feels like it has so short a season when it's like it's available in the shops year round, but I don't see, I'm not an enjoyer of like buying fruits and vegetables that come all the way from like South America when I live in the UK. And for most of the year, the asparagus that we get in the shops is coming from like Mexico and Peru, and I'm like, I don't feel good about that when there are things being grown like much closer to home. I would rather just wait and have asparagus when like it's available here, kind of thing. But that also means that there's a very short time of the year that I am eating asparagus. And that's okay. I just enjoy it while I can, and try and make sure that I have it at least once a week when it's being grown, you know, sort of within a few hours of where I live, right? So I have some nice locally grown asparagus in the kitchen, and I'm gonna use it for my din-dins tonight. Okay, so this is scary because I can't really see where my eye shapes were here. So I'm having to kind of educatedly guess. So it's kind of coming out almost bean shaped, but I kind of like that. I kind of like the almost bean shape. I think it's cute. Okay. You know what? Close enough. Close enough. Okay, and I can just about see the pencil markings for this one, so I will make it similarly almost beany in shape, I think. Okay, that's a little wiggity wonky, actually. Ah, shoot. I felt like I was following my pencil line, but I maybe didn't do an amazing job of it, or maybe my sketch was just bad. I don't know. I can't really see the pencil line for there's a little doodad like right here, but it's quite small. Are these supposed to be eyebrows or what? I'm not sure. I can't see where the other one was. I think it just got eaten by like the masking fluid, so I'm just gonna guess that it's about there. Is it symmetrical? No. No, it isn't, but who cares? Who cares if it isn't symmetrical? You know, human faces aren't symmetrical. If you've ever seen a perfectly symmetrical human face, you'll know it looks kind of weird. So, again, not really concerning myself about that. That is fine. Just gonna try and make this little guy as cute as I can. Okay. Sorry if got real quiet there for a second. I was very focused on making sure that that looked as cute as I can. I was honestly just now I was like mentally debating whether I wanted to add like a little sparkle in his eyes, but I don't know if that's laying the cuteness on a little too thick. But I don't know. I think he looks pretty stinking cute. I hope you think he looks cute too, and if you don't think he looks cute, that's okay. You're allowed to think that. I mean, you'd be wrong, but you are allowed to. Anyways, I'm just popping my name on it as best as I can. My signature looks different every time I sign an artwork. Sammy, that's a baby, says Kobe. You're not wrong. He baby. He is baby. He is baby. Well spotted. Also, hi. Lovely to see you. Welcome in. Welcome to It Baby. Anyways, this is the False Knight. I hope you like him. I enjoyed painting him. Despite like what happened earlier, this was actually a really fun painting to do. Fairly straightforward, really. Just a little portrait, but I love him. And it is a correct assessment that he baby. Thank you so much for that contribution, because you're right and you should say it. Hell yeah. Before I fully wrap up here, I'm gonna just tear off this masking fluid so I don't have to do it tomorrow. And I'm gonna tell you what the heck is Thursday's Hollow Knight Art Month prompt. I think it's Mound, and I haven't actually sketched the Mound sketch yet because I'm really behind on staying ahead on the sketches. But I'm hoping to sort of pick up on that and fix it this week, and I'm hoping to get all of the sketches done for like the remains of the month before the week is out. I want to give myself a little grace around like my birthday weekend, because my birthday's on Sunday, by the way, so you know, make of that what you will. Mentally bank that. Think about what you're gonna get me, all that jazz. You don't get me anything, it's fine. 22 is Mound. That's what I'm currently working on, says Tals. Yes, I have a solid and very hopefully cute idea for Mound. I hope people will like it. But I haven't drawn it yet. I look forward to seeing what you've done, Tals. If you post it, I would like to see that. But yes, I don't remember what comes after that. I need to brainstorm the rest of the month, because I always do like a ton of brainstorming of like the first few ones, and then I kind of forget. Okay, Mound, Ghost, Fog Canyon, Defender, Markov, Coliseum, Mosskin, Tribe, City of Tears, Charm, and Godhome. I know exactly what I'm doing for City of Tears. It's very stupid, and I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to wait and see. And I'm going to promise you right now, it's real stupid. But hopefully you'll like it. I saw a game sprite, and I was like, I need to paint you. I need to paint this game sprite, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh my god, what the hell did I do to my lower back? Ow, okay, my lower back is killing me. So in lieu of, like, finishing this painting on stream, because it's for tomorrow anyways, I'm going to finish that tomorrow, and I'm going to go do some stretches and cook dinner. Yeah, it's, thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry the stream started a little bit late, because I had some, technical difficulties, before we got started, but thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I've had a really nice time. I'm gonna see if we can do a little raid on someone. Who is someone we've not raided recently? I'm just checking to see who we raided recently, who have we not raided recently, who's someone I can raid, who I haven't done a raid on in a while. Okay, cool. Sorry to complain about my lower back as well. But ow. Anyways, we're gonna say hi to Smashly, because, assuming that Smashly isn't just about to finish. Please don't be just about to finish, Smashly. Smashly is not just about to finish. Oh, fantastic. Smashly just started. That's good. If you don't know Smashly's art, it's gorgeous. And she's a really cool person. So, let's go say hi to the lovely Smashly. And I will, just pop in some ananas in the raid message. There's generic raid messages in the chat. Feel free to grab the raid call if you want to join us. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you do not have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message. It's all good. You can append any cool emotes that you do have. Regardless. I'll be back on Thursday doing something for the Mound prompt. I don't know. I don't have it sketched yet, but you'll see it then. In the meantime, I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a nice evening. I will see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, hope to see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Good night. And good luck.